getting tired.
So what are you doing?
Nothing.
Nothing? Why not?
Trying to get on this Lifestyle Radio website.
Sounds like a cool website.
Yeah, it's alright. Oh, wait, I might have it.
You might have it.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
The opinions expressed during this show are those of the individual participants and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of their associated organizations or Lifestyle Radio.
Alrighty. We are live on lifestyleradio.net with Dr. Ira Price from Synergy Health Services. We are live at Canna Crawl in Hamilton. At what's the address?
1031 Upper James Street.
1051, isn't it? What's the address?
I don't know, but I know that.
Upper James in Hamilton, Ontario. And we are here at the Gunjanista Social Lounge here. We've got the lounge set up here. And Ira is down outside running around like a mouse talking to people. Hi, Ira.
Hey, how are you?
I'm great,
Can you hear
buddy.
me all right?
I am so happy to be doing this with you, buddy. We are live, and Ira's got a mic jacked up in his pocket, and he's going to be wandering around outside because from a health point of view, not so good for Ira up here. And
I'm coming in and out.
We're here with Tyler, who is Ira's right hand on the podcast, yes?
Yes, and I'm actually a cannabis educator at both of our clinics, and I manage the exploration centers within the clinics.
You got to move real close, buddy.
Is that good?
Can we turn up your mic?
Better?
Yeah, much better.
All right, wicked.
Awesome.
Sorry about that, folks.
That's okay. So we're
I can
hanging
hear you.
around, and Ira is wandering around. He's going to do what Al Graham usually does when we do these things. And we're going to be talking with people. It is very loud in here. We apologize for that. But, hey, it is what it is. So, have you found somebody that you want to talk to, Ira?
Well, I got a lot of guys to talk to, but right now all I hear is a bunch of noise up there. Al, it is amazing out here. You know who I'm standing next to right now? Tracy Lamore. We know her.
Oh, yes.
She happens to be standing right here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. And there's a lady coming towards you from the New York Times, I believe.
Coming towards me?
Well, you know,
there's nobody coming towards me.
They're looking for you.
Rena and her are looking for you right now.
Rena is looking for
they
you
are.
with a lady from the New York Times.
You know, I'm going to ask Tracy a question.
Okay.
Look at this community. It's an amazing community. Does this change come legalization?
That's the big question, eh?
Oh, hey, this is Tracy coming on.
That's the big question. I don't think this community is going anywhere. I think if anything, what I'm finding is the public, people from outside of our community are interested in drawing our community in and finding out how they can actually bring cannabis to their mainstream events, that kind of thing.
I hear you. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, no, you just keep talking, buddy. We can hear you fine.
Okay, beautiful.
Yep.
Can you hear us?
Yep, we can hear you.
Hi.
Hi, Tracy.
Say hi to...
Hi. Say hi.
That's awesome. We're taking photos. Take photos. Say hey. That's awesome. Listen. What do you guys think happens here and what do you guys think happens here in October 17th? Or say your name.
Okay, so I'm Nikki Norlock. I am a health and wellness adventure guide, and I think that the community is just going to get stronger. I think people are going to start coming out of their shells. They're going to come out, and they're going to want to be part of it. And this is exciting times we live in. Exciting times. Medicine!
You can have your medicine. Guys, I'm coming upstairs there a second.
Okay, sure, come on up. I'm muting our mics when you're talking.
Needs to mute. Somebody needs. Oh, you are. Is that why I can't? It gets pretty loud up there. All I'm hearing is pretty loud. But hey,
so we're going to mute our mics, Ira, and you just keep talking. And when we need to talk to you, I'll unmute everything. Okay? That way, be quieter.
Okay, I love that. That sounds good. I'm not coming up. I'm going to stay out here then, and I'll come up in a few minutes. This is amazing. Hey, guys, I'm seeing people. Honestly, we're seeing people here that we see all the time. The whole community is literally coming together. What brought you here? First, say your name, and then we're live. We're doing a show together with Pace Lifestyle Radio, and the Higher Estate Podcast. So just say your name and, what you think's happening here.
Well, my name's Leonard, and I came out to support the market and support my friend Anthony, who put it on, and I just wanted to come through and check everything out and see where everything's going with this little market. I just want to be here with the grassroots and support it.
So, we're coming on legalization. We've been doing medicine for a long time now, right?
Yeah.
And it's been great. And I'm all about wellness and health and wellness. Of course, everybody kind of knows that. But come legalization, they're selling it out of online. OCS is coming out. What happens to this?
Well, I think that they want to stop this completely, but I would disagree with that, and I would say that this is where it should be, because the people that are here right now are the people that have always been involved in it, that have true love and passion in it, and they're the ones that you can tell when you speak to, they have true knowledge about the plant, and you can tell that this is where their heart and mind is, and I can tell the difference when I'm going to go online and talk to somebody, they're probably not going to have the same background and knowledge that when I speak one-on-one with someone in front of me. And that's what I like.
I hear you. What do you think happens to medicine?
Medicine? Well, I don't think that's ever going to go away. I think more people are going to learn about it, and it's just going to get bigger and bigger, and more people are going to realize that maybe they were medicating with not even knowing that they were medicating.
Hold on. I'm totally interrupting you. What is this around your neck?
This is the glass pendant. It was made by Keshav Glass out in British Columbia.
I love it. It's awesome. Cool. Thanks, brother.
No
Cheers. Listen, Al, question for you. Because you've been involved with this for, you've probably been around doing this a lot longer than I have. I've been around for maybe a decade, Al, but what do you think? What are you seeing? What are you seeing as a change? What are you seeing upstairs? Is this what you expected to see? Is there anybody out there? Just nod if you can hear me. I'm assuming you guys can hear me.
We can hear you.
I can hear you just fine, bro. Just keep
there
going.
You are, Al.
Yep,
Al,
here.
Hear my question?
No.
So so you can sort of hear me.
Your question?
I was saying, Al, you've been doing this a lot longer than I have, right?
Yeah.
I've been in the cannabis industry maybe a decade. You've been doing this way longer. You're upstairs. You're seeing a whole bunch of stuff happening. Did you expect this? Did you ever dream that this would have happened?
You know what? This is turning out to be the Karma Cup of Hamilton. It's amazing how many people are here. We've got the dab bar set up. Everybody's sitting here. We're allowed to smoke in here. It's a gymnasium. And that's why Ira's outside.
Yeah, no, it is. Well, I will come. I stayed up there for 20 minutes, and honestly, I walked outside, and I'm like, oh, there's fresh air. It is pretty stuffy up there, but it's packed, and that's really cool. I think it's just amazing seeing the whole community come together. There's still people in line, and I think it's amazing. I'm going to stand in line with some people and see what's going on out here.
Yeah, go down on the
I'm gonna
right out on the street. Now, we're
live.
If anybody who's listening who knows Ira and Synergy, we are right across the street from their Hamilton office, which is really cool.
By the way, when you just said that, I heard you very well. Now it's really super loud up there. Is it really that loud?
Yeah, the music's going, and there's like a constant hum of people.
Wow, that is outstanding.
But I'm swallowing the mic. That's why you can hear me.
Oh, now I hear you perfectly. There's nothing else going on but your
really?
voice. I love it. What just happened? Yeah, what was the change?
Whatever you just did, put it back. Shut that off. Perfect. Thank you. Leave it. Is that your mic?
There you go.
But I can still hear you. Leave that off. Yeah, it's perfect. Now you don't got as much noise, right, now. Ira?
Yeah, why was that? That's cool. It's working great.
He pressed a button. He found a good button.
He's always, look, we're finding people we know everywhere over here.
Awesome.
How's it going?
Listen,
How are you?
I have a question for you, Ira.
Ask me a question.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, hold on. Let me just tell them what we're doing.
Okay.
We're live on the radio with Pace and Lifestyle Radio, 420 Radio, and Synergy's The Higher Estate podcast. We're sort of combining today. So I got Al on the other side. I got Tyler over there, and he's just about to ask me a question. So fire away.
I was wondering from a doctor's perspective, how you're feeling. Like, you're a cannabis doctor, an emergency room doctor, but you specialize in cannabis and helping people with pain issues, correct?
I do. I mean, do I specialize in cannabis medicine? I don't think there's. I'm sort of been developing, or we have been developing this ongoing new area of medicine that we're calling cannabinoid medicine. But I do work with people in that area, so I guess you could say that, sure.
Okay. So how are you feeling about what's about to come?
So, I'm sort of stuck in this interesting space. I'm kind of stuck in the middle here, right? So on one side, the community which I come from and I love so much, they think I'm too science. And then I go to the medical world, which is where I am, and they think I'm too community. And I'm sort of stuck in the middle. So, but my goal is to bridge the gap between the medicine and the community and what I'm sort of calling mindful consumption, which is really why we're even here today. Why I'm here today is to promote that health and wellness aspect and that mindful consumption that goes along with cannabis. So I'm excited about the coming of legalization. Of course, it's just the first iteration, and it's going to change it around. I don't, of course, want to lose the. We had this conversation. Remember about a year ago when you had me on that show? The first time when I was on your show about a year ago, and we were talking about what my fears of legalization were, and my fear was the change in the research, that people are going to, be short-sighted for legal cannabis, and the companies were sort of going to go off on that. And then my other fear was that we were going to that the patients would start going, would think, oh, no longer do I want to be followed by a doctor, and how would insurance companies get into the game, because it's about access at the end of the day. And so some of those fears, I have to say, thankfully, have not come true. In the last 2-3 months, even in the last year, moving up to today, a lot of the licensed producers and a lot of the big industry that's getting involved, they're seeing the major need for research right now. So we have a huge drive. There's a huge push for proper clinical, coming down the pipeline. And I'm really excited about it. So those fears, my initial fears, are not exactly, happening. And insurance is coming down too. So all the things that I sort of thought, on one hand, we haven't hit October 17th, so there's still that, we still have that fear of what's going to happen, the unknown. How many patients are going to just say, were they just duping us as physicians, or, were they really real? And I'd like to think that all of the patients we have are real, and there might be an attrition of a little bit, and it's still the fear of the unknown, but I'm excited for what's to come.
I'm excited because I've been sitting here for 12 years watching this get to this point, and I'm sitting here watching a couple of hundred people enjoying their afternoon, and you know what? I wouldn't want to spend my birthday any other way right now, Ira, to be honest. I'm 55 this year, and this is like choking me up, buddy. It's really choking me up.
Yeah.
The openness.
Well, first of all, happy birthday.
Thank you. The openness of people who are, you remember even 5 years ago, people were afraid to come to these things. And now we have yourself, a licensed physician, doing interviews in line at a cannabis event in Hamilton, Ontario.
Well, the goal, Al, is to build community, and is to bridge those gaps between the lifestyle world and the medical world, and that's really what my goal is. And I'm standing literally outside in the middle of a tent that even 2 years ago in this city we wouldn't have seen. We had it about a decade ago. We used to have sort of something similar to this in Hamilton, and then it disappeared. On one hand, I'm really excited for what I'm seeing out here, and on the other hand, I'm just hopeful that people still recognize the idea to be mindful about what it is. But I'll tell you what really impresses me, and it's funny. I'm standing in front of Honey Badger. We know Honey Badger is a Hamilton staple, and what I'm seeing is we're not seeing people that are sitting on a marginalized world anymore. We're seeing people that are hugely productive to society, people that are creating business and advancing our economy, and hopefully that's what will be included in the new regulations as well. And even as of recent, I mean, they're going to start allowing privatized sales of cannabis, storefront sales.
I'm
that's
so
all
happy
coming around
about
right
that.
now.
So
Hey,
happy
hold on.
about that.
I'm holding on to Bobby right now.
Okay.
I think Bobby was upstairs, and Bobby, thanks for typing, because I still think somebody knew how to spell application.
Now you're a work in progress.
Yeah. Don't tell your boss, Bobby, that Bobby knows how to spell. Bobby, what does it feel like to be here? Because you work in the clinic as a medical assistant, and now you're standing out here inside of a community environment where we're sort of sitting on it still is fringe until October 17th. And even after that, who knows what's going to happen with this kind of thing. But how do you feel about being here?
Well, it's pretty amazing. I was told by the clinic that, this is going to happen. On Facebook, I thought it was only about 200 people. It looks like they're going to have probably over 500 people come here today. So that's pretty incredible.
It is pretty cool. It's not like the Jays game where we got soaked the other night. Bobby, I don't know if I told you this story, but I posted it on my social media. Bobby and I went to a Jays game. Tyler didn't want to come with us, of course, because, he didn't want to hang out with us old guys. And so we're going to the Jays game, and it started pouring rain at the end of the game, and I had to leave, but I didn't have an umbrella, so I'm running, and I run under this human. She was super kind. I didn't know it was, I didn't know it was actually a female. I couldn't tell from behind because she was all decked out in rain gear, and I basically took her umbrella and said thank you. Bobby, on the other hand, was staying underneath the at the what's this called side of Rogers Center, and they lost power. The police come out and say everybody has to leave, and they kick them all out. He's walking up. You guys know Bobby. Bobby has to walk up 38 floors in order to get to his place. Anyway, it was a funny story, and you should have seen it. Sorry, that's my my funny story for the day. Oh, Al, what's happening up there?
Is this where we're supposed to laugh?
Okay, I thought it was funny. Was that story not funny?
You know what? I'm sure it was funny, but I'm hearing every other word. It's really getting loud in here, man. Yeah, you might as well. Shoot. You might want to stay down there for a little while. There's a lot of smoking going on up here, Ira.
I'm getting higher as the night moves forward.
Bring it up a bit.
Sorry.
That's good.
Who, me?
No, I'm talking to Tyler. Yep, that's good.
Gotcha.
That's great. Thank you. So, is there a lineup?
Yeah, the line. You know what? The line hasn't ended.
Really?
Every 20 minutes we're getting another 20 sort of people coming and standing in the line. But it's going really quickly. It's not around the corner anymore, and there's only about 10, 15 people standing in line. So it's kind of really it's working out. People are all over the place down here. They're just having a blast, I think.
Well, I know people are, as you can hear, people are having a blast up here. I'm here with Puff Dog, and Anthony is here, and Shatterizer's here, and Gunjanista's here, and wow, man. And I think Rena's walking around.
Rena's upstairs or Rena's down there?
I don't know. I can't even see people, dude. I can't even see how many people there are in here.
Is it that cloudy upstairs right now?
It is.
We got people hanging out everywhere.
It's pretty crowded. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna switch mics here and stand up.
All right, that
so
sounds like a good idea.
I'll let you talk to Tyler for a minute, and I'm gonna switch mics.
Is Tyler?
Here. He's right here.
Is Tyler there? You know what, Tyler? Okay, so you know what's really neat is you see the same people. A bunch of the same people that are coming out to a whole bunch of different events. And it's a community. We've got a great community that's being built here. And it's kind of neat. For the last, it's funny. I just literally came from lecturing all day today to pharmacists and then shooting a tape for a new TV show that might be coming out in the next little bit. Oh, not sure what's going on here. Wrong place. Okay. I think there's offices that are still running here. kind of interesting. I'm going to come upstairs.
Yes, there is.
That's crazy. People are walking out. I don't know what kind of businesses are happening, but I don't think they were expecting us to be here like this, because there's just keep walking down. So there's people that are, man, there's a lot of stairs. Hey, upstairs. Hey, Tyler, I bumped into somebody who knows you. Say hi.
Hello.
You're going live right now. Hi, Ashley. How's it going up there? We're on our way up. I'm gonna walk upstairs, but what I can tell you is that I don't think that they were expecting, or whoever is still working in the offices here, were expecting us, and it's awesome because they're opening the door saying, "What's going on?"
All right, there we go. Can you hear me?
I can hear it. Whoa, it's awesome up here.
Awesome. So now I'm standing up. There's a few hundred people here.
Oh, yeah.
Easy.
There is more than
I wish, you know what, Ira, I think what we should do, if you don't mind, I want to take a quick break and sure. I'll put on a tune because I'd like to get the speaker running over here so that people can hear what we're talking about. There's lots of people sitting here in the lounge and they can't hear it. It was just Tyler and I and you.
That sounds perfect. Let's do
All right.
that. Okay.
So I'm going to put on some
Yep. Okay. All right. Here comes that music. Love it.
far you been walking, man? 100 miles. Just to walk. You still got some more to walk, man. I know, got a long way to go. I'm getting kind of tired, but I got to keep on walking. I'm walking barefoot. You know. Keep on walking. We got to walk and don't look back. I keep on walking. We're gonna walk and don't look back.
Sitting in the morning sun and watching all the birds passing by. Oh, how sweet they sing, and oh, how much I wish that I could fly. And I tried, I said I tried. I really try, but I got to pick myself up, dust myself off, start all over again. I got to pick myself up and dust myself off, start all over. Sitting in the midday sun and wondering where my meal's coming from. After working so hard, not even piece of bread on me yard. And I said I tried, oh Lord, I tried. Said I try, but I got to pick myself up and dust myself off as a little boy, start all over again. I got to pick myself up and dust myself off, I say, and I start all over. Sitting in the evening sun and watching the same birds passing by. Sitting there wondering and waiting for the time for me to fly. And I tried, I said I tried. But I got to pick myself up and dust myself off, and I can do what you can't do. You never try to do what I do. I'm the toughest. Stop from doing wrongs. Change your foolish plans. Stop from doing wrongs. Live up like a man. I'm the toughest. I'm the toughest. Now my little brothers, you got to be good. Do what's right, yeah. Don't be bad-minded. Take what's yours, and there'll be no fuss or fight. And I say anything you can do, I can do it better. I'm the toughest. I'm the toughest. And I can do what you can't do. You never try to do what I do. I'm the toughest. I'm the toughest. Stop from doing wrongs. Change your foolish plans. Stop from doing wrongs. Just live up like a man. I'm the toughest. I'm the toughest. Now my brothers, you got to be good. Just do what you know is right. Don't be bad-minded. Just take what's yours, and there'll be no fuss or fight. And I say anything you can do, I can do it better. I'm the toughest. I'm the toughest. And I can do what you can't do. You never try to do what I do. I'm the toughest. I'm the toughest. I'm the toughest. Say I'm the toughest. 'Cause anything you can do, I can do better. I'm the toughest. I can do better. Say I'm the toughest. I'm the toughest. I said I love my brother. I said I love my sister. I don't commit to my neighbor. And I love my neighbor. Said I'm the toughest. Every time I call, you tell me that you soon come. I call you on the phone, you tell me that you soon come. I don't like hanging around or to be pushed around. I got my business putting down. I don't like soon come. I checked you at the gate. You tell me that you soon come. You make a date you late. I wait because you soon come. Tell her what you waiting for. Is it bus, truck, or car? I don't like the one. I don't like soon come. watching all the wicked, them a go on. Remember Elijah? Do you remember Elijah? Him not dead, him not dead, him not dead. The man dey on earth still. Yeah, the man a trod earth still. Younger than ever. The man dey on earth. Watching all the wicked, them a go on. Remember Jeremiah? Do you remember Jeremiah? That man not dead. The man not dead. They said the man not dead. The man a trod earth still. The man a trod earth still. The man a trod earth still. I watch out the wicked, them one. Remember Satan. Remember Satan. That guy not dead. That guy not dead. That guy not dead. The guy a trod earth still. The guy a trod earth still. The guy a trod earth still. Fulfilling his pledge to deceive the world. Remember Marcus, Messiah Gavin. Him not dead, that man not dead, that man not dead. The man a trod earth still. That man a trod earth still. That man a trod earth still. Watching his prophecy fulfilled. Warning. The Surgeon General warns. Cigarette smoking is dangerous. Dangerous. Hazard to your health. Does that mean anything to you? Them legalize marijuana. Right here in Jamaica, yeah. Them say it cured glaucoma, yeah. I'm an of the bush doctor, yeah. So there'll be no more smoking
going to
clicking another button and pausing Mr. Tosh, and we are live at the Canna Crawl in Hamilton, Ontario, at 1051 Upper James. I can't hear you now. And
you can't hear me because...
no, I was talking to Tyler. He's done something with his mic because he likes to push buttons.
Yes, I've noticed that. He just can't sit still.
Can't hear you at all.
Really
But
little motherfucker.
he fixed the sound but fucked his mic. That's okay. There you go, buddy. Use that one.
All right, you can hear me now, right?
Oh,
I can hear you.
You can hear me, Ira?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right,
we're waiting down here for Rena, but in the meantime, because Rena organized this, and
Yes.
so I want to get her on here. But before we do that, we got some other special guests. As a physician, I can't introduce them. They have to introduce themselves. That's their consent to be spoken to. So, guys, here, let's go right into this corner.
The one that's
Tell us
picking up.
who you are, what brought you here, and how cannabis has helped you.
I'm John MacDonald. What brought me here is my doctor.
Who's your doctor?
Dr. Price, the guy who's interviewing me right now. He's a great guy. He changed my life. I have epilepsy, and he literally helped me control my seizures with marijuana.
That's awesome.
Dude, that's amazing.
Yes,
I stopped having seizures because of what this guy has done to me. He's given me marijuana to help, and it's amazing.
They can hear you now. I've got a piece of earphone in his ear if you want to ask him anything.
All right, Steve. I'm good, thanks. I just shaking. Biggie Big Bugs there just popped over. Steve's is here. He just said hi. Hey, what's going on, Neil? The Heine Man is here.
Who's there?
Yeah, Neil Heineman.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, he's just having a bake.
Right on.
So go on.
So we've got one other guy I want us to talk to as well, also standing here. Not that I can introduce him again because, of course, I'm a physician. I can't do that. So I'm going to let him introduce himself, and that's his consent. I like how I put the consent out here.
Yeah, always. That's how you roll, right? We met each other a long time ago. I'm also Will MacDonald. We have a great relationship, and the relationship became between doctor helping one with a product that I don't have to be on a narcotic for. I can also be on something that's earthly, and I can not have a side effect of. And it's one of those great things that I got through this wonderful person, Dr. Price.
So, hey, we got Rena back here, too. Thank you. I found... You can have my water. Okay, guys, I'm standing here with Rena right now. Say hi, Rena.
Hello.
Hi, Rena. Yes, she is. Oh, kinky. Well, you know, I will say this though, Rena. I'll remind you, he is a doctor. It's not his stethoscope, though. So, Rena, I'm sitting upstairs, and I'm absolutely loving. I'm sitting here in the Gunjanista Lounge that you let us set up. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, God, they're singing. I'm so glad the speaker's not on. Thank you very much, guys.
Good. Oh, is that what it is? So instead of the chain, you put a big block. Smart. Okay.
Yeah.
It's better than. Okay. That's all right. It's how we roll here. I get it. Okay. That's good. And we can use it as a. All right, guys. Thank you. I'll get it. Yeah. And we can use it as a. We look cool with our foot on it. If you guys could. Oh, look who's here. Oh, Tyler. I'm looking at somebody who knows you. Tyler, the question is, no, we do not combust. All right.
Birthday cake.
Rena, here's my question to you. This is the second one. It's super successful. What happens October 17th?
I guess that's unsure for really everybody at this point. But you know what? We've been around. We've adapted. We've gone with the flow. If it means we have to change the way that we do things, then we will. You know, it is, sure, it's a cannabis market, but it's also a wellness fair. You know, there's definitely a need for this, and nothing like this does exist at the moment. You know, I would say Dr. Ira Price came very close with his retreats, right, where you can give the information and pass it on, but we really don't have that kind of a thing out there.
So why don't we do...
I've not been to an event yet other than Harvest Fest in Nova Scotia, where there was a physician there.
Right. And that's so important because people are, this is how, okay, so we're lucky that this government recognized the medicinal value, and this is really how we got to legalization, and we know this. You know, but it's like they're trying to bypass that, and it's so important.
People need to realize something. The thing that is so fascinating about having Dr. Price here is the fact that he's the guy that doctors call to learn about cannabis.
For sure. And he's the guy who allowed us to go to the doctor for cannabis. People need to know that, too. He allowed that to be a possibility. So yes, this man is very important.
And while we're talking, I want to plug Synergy Health Services.
Love it.
What is the address, Ira?
Synergy.
Yep.
You know, it's 1030 Upper James, literally across the street. And then we're also in Burlington at 5205 Harvester Road.
Awesome.
But, you know, come check. You got to come check that out.
Yoga and everything. Yoga and massage therapy.
Yeah.
Listen, we
will talk about that after because I really want to hear what Rena has to say. This is an awesome event, Rena. Thank you for inviting me.
You're having a great time. I'm so glad. It's your birthday, so that's so important.
Well, here's my challenge to Rena, and that's let's do this as a wellness event after October 17th.
Let's do that. Let's do that. And we can incorporate so much more. That allows us to widen the scope and incorporate, you know, all of the ancillary services that should be closely educated. Oh my God. Okay, so I'm going to say this on the air. Anna Maria Ananager of Cannabis Amnesty is here.
Hey.
Celebrity in the house. Someone we all want to see and love. Oh, it's so good to see you. Oh my God. Everyone, if you haven't already, you know I'm plugging this all day. Check out cannabisamnesty.ca. If you haven't signed the petition, you know what the deal is. People have paid the price and the government's making the money. Come on, right the wrongs of history.
Have they said anything that there's going to be
We're working on it. We're
good.
working on it. Yeah, it's looking good, and I can't talk too much about it right now, but the team is working very hard, and things are looking very positive.
Well,
we just need to...
What can't we talk about?
Talk to us, please come and do so.
Yeah, a big announcement coming up.
Why are there secrets around Cannabis Amnesty? Hi, yay! I'm not one for secrets. I've heard about you as well. And as you know, I'm not one for secrets. And guess what? You let it out. I don't want to know what it is, but I want to know why it's a secret.
It's not a secret, actually. It's actually quite public. So NDP MP, I keep forgetting his name, Murray Rankin.
Some guy.
No, he's important. Murray Rankin.
Oh, he's important guy.
Huge supporter of Cannabis Amnesty, and he is tabling a private member's bill next week to this is a bill that's going to support Cannabis Amnesty. And so he's doing a press conference next week, and so hopefully there'll be like a lot of news around that, and people will turn their attention to Cannabis Amnesty once again. And very importantly, right before legalization.
I happen to agree with that, and that, you know, if there's one issue that we should stand behind, I think when it comes to cannabis legalization, is amnesty for people that have been unjustly, unrightfully placed into. Yeah, I think it just makes sense. It's, I think, the only fair way to move forward. And not only that, I think it'll change lives. We should release people from prison. It'll change lives. It'll put families back together again that were separated for no reason.
For no reason, for no legitimate reason.
Right. I mean, we all have to follow law, but at the same time, if there's laws unjust. Anyway.
Laws are unjust. That was it. Yeah, from the beginning, right?
Yeah. The government realized the law is unjust.
Can you say that again?
That's why we're here to begin with, because the government's realized that the law is unjust, and they're saying this doesn't need to be prosecuted anymore. It's ridiculous. We're wasting time, money, and we're destroying people's lives, so let's stop it. And I say go further. Let's not only stop it, let's go back and fix it. Fix what they ruined.
It needs to be fixed. You know what I just realized? Now I know why radio DJs, the old, like real radio DJs, hold their headsets to their heads when they're out doing live shit, because I can't hear a fucking thing.
You can't hear us because we're not close enough to the mic, or it's just too loud up there?
No, I just sent Tyler over and told the DJ to turn it down a bit.
Yeah, it is super loud up there.
It is, yeah.
But
okay.
We're still recording us, so we're good.
Oh yeah, and you know what? I'm being told that this is coming out like mint. So, yeah.
Oh, someone's.
No, somebody's saying it's good. Mints are good.
Mints are good.
Mints
are amazing.
Mints are good.
Man.
Mint's good. Meat good. That's a Friends reference. Anyway, Joey, good.
How you doing?
Yeah, these guys. How you doing? If you have not, no, you gotta watch. And it may be a little white, but
y'all can find a monkey to be your friend in New York City, but you can't find a black person. Yeah, right.
Okay. It's the funniest show,
Never seen
though.
one. I heard it was good, but
gotta watch
I have to admit I've never seen one.
I was like, I don't get it.
No? Okay, so
understand my struggles.
I only started understanding it like 2 years ago.
Really?
I missed it by 2 decades, but it was still awesome now that I'm watching it again.
So you're a repeat watcher. That's good.
Oh yeah, but I never watched it. I only literally watched it 2 years ago for the first time. Okay, so where were we? We were at Amnesty International, or I don't know. I was upstairs too long. No, but I stood upstairs for 20 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, what? Listen, let's talk. It is not healthy upstairs at all. If it was just vape, not a problem. But it's healthy.
Delicious. It's delicious. My lungs have never been better.
It's great. Okay, but let me ask you a question. Rena. Oh, you don't like? Oh, that's fine. You don't have to like me. It's okay.
I got a question.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Somebody has a question for Rena.
Where the fuck can I get some of your food in this place?
Oh shit! I'm so sorry. It's on the basement. It's all in the basement.
Is it? Okay. Well, I'll go for a venture in a bit.
Should we give you a break so you can go down? I can hook it up. I can hook it up. I'll hook it up. Okay. I will hook it up, Al. I will make sure I hook up that birthday meal.
Okay, but I do want you to know that you heard here first where Rena says we're going to turn this into a little bit of a wellness.
Yeah, why not?
A wellness thingy, mabob.
Do it.
I say we do that because that's what's needed.
So. And in order to be wellness, some fans need to be turned on.
Here's the thing.
Oh no! Are you okay?
Here's the thing here's what I say. We're all talking about amnesty, and so I don't use words like harm reduction because I think they remind us of things like prohibition, where we're trying to, keep somebody from harm. So what as if we are their patriarchal, parent that has to keep somebody safe. What I use instead of words like harm reduction is wellness advancement. And so switch that conversation. The conversation is about harm reduction. It's about promotion of wellness and well-being. It's the same concept with a different twist, because we're not saying we're not the person to tell you what's bad for you. We give you advice. You get to make your decision. But it's about promotion of health and wellness. Would you agree with that?
Oh, 1,000%. Yes. And,
you agree with smoking big-ass blunts?
Yes, I do.
No, you're supposed to say no. No.
Every once in a while.
I'm a doctor.
Oh, you know what? But in moderation, right? I think people should vape. Actually, my recommendation is that people actually ingest, that they decarb their raw flower and they ingest it that way. So they're getting the full spectrum. They're getting all of the benefits, the fiber, everything too. And they're not, having any adverse effect on their lungs should, there be
hold on. Okay. Let's talk a little medicine now. Yeah. So I'm a proponent of both vaporization and of ingesting cannabis. It all depends on the purpose and the reason you're using it. We know, I'm going to use some science words now. We know the PK and PD, pharmacodynamics or pharmacokinetics and the pharmacodynamics, which are the time to onset from the time you inhale to the time that it works and to the time that it offsets. We know very well. Guys, here's some education. We know it so well that I can tell you almost how, like, to the moment that it'll start hitting you and the time it'll go away. That's really important for people that have acute pain or have they need an acute breakthrough, but they don't need to stay on it. They don't need 4 or 5 hours of feeling this whole whatever. They need an acute breakthrough medicine. And they need that quick onset, because when you ingest cannabis, you're looking at time to onset. There's no immediate relief. It's going to take you time.
It will take time. Yeah, it does take some time for sure. And you have to know your tolerance too, right? Because everybody's body does metabolize slightly different. If you're someone who has a very high tolerance, yes. If you're someone who has a high tolerance, then you're going to need a little bit more, obviously, and it'll affect you in a lot less time than it would somebody who's not a frequent user, because it's in your system, right? So there are a few different factors that you kind of have to figure out or nuance your way around, if you will. But once you figure yourself out, I honestly suggest that as the best way. Even vape products, most of them are mixed with propylene glycol.
No, you're talking about vaping oils. I'm talking about vaping dry flower.
Okay, yes.
And you don't have to use propylene glycol. We're not proponents of PG at all in a vape. Rena's talking smack over here, but you sound smart anyways. Really, she all just wants us to go to her restaurant and eat food. I don't blame her.
There's a lot out there. Yes, I actually suggest vaping dried product and eating dried product. Those are my two.
Hey, look, that's what we call that's the paradigm shift.
It is.
That is the whole plan. And also for the people that are, like, for example, cannabis like connoisseurs, and you really enjoy the terpenoid flavors or the smells, right? The smell that you smell when you vape cannabis, that's the terpenes that you're smelling. And when you burn cannabis, it just all smells the same, because you pretty much flash burn the terpenes off. So if you really want to get a good smell and you're really one of those connoisseurs and you sort of enjoy it like you enjoy a good glass of wine, you want to vape.
Yeah.
Because then you taste it, you smell it, you get the whole experience of it. And of course, the reason I say that should be towards wellness, and full well-being. What is your problem? Rena doesn't like having an ear thingy in her ear.
It's good. My ears are weird. There's a
we should tell you that I guess we have to tell people what we're doing. We're doing this joint live radio on Pace Lifestyle Radio. It's the 420 show, or Al's got like his whole thing going on up there.
Al.com.
Al.com. And then we've got the Higher Estate, which is my podcast, and we're going to be putting it on both. We're doing it all together.
Once we're done the podcast of this, then Ira will be given our podcast, and he'll use that.
Yes, please do.
Show.
Third floor and basement.
Al, as a last point here, I'm looking around, and I'm seeing like, you go to a concert. When you go to a concert, you go to an event, you go to a club, how many bouncers do they have walking around? Like 10, like 20, 30, 50, 100 of them. They're all over the place, and people are getting violent. People go crazy. I'm looking around here. I think there was like one person helping people with like traffic, stand in line, and like one or two other people walking around, and you have hundreds of people here, and it's peaceful. And it's an amazing community and an amazing environment. People are listening. I don't know what's going on out here, but they're doing giveaways and raffles, and we don't need people standing on top of us, here, because everybody's peaceful. It's kind of amazing to see.
If there were this many people drinking in this place right now,
it would be
puke everywhere. There'd be at least 3 fights. Oh, thank you.
Hold on, we're just saying thanks. It was awesome. We'll be in touch. Yeah, if this was alcohol, imagine that.
I'd probably be punched in the face by now. No I'm kidding.
No, I think it's safe to
by
say
accident.
There'd be a dozen people that would jump whoever did that.
That's great. I would too. No kidding.
All right. So, we are going to head upstairs.
Okay. sounds
Let's
good.
go head upstairs.
All right. Okay.
All right, guys, we're going to come up and see you. Take a little bit of a break. Al.
All right. We'll
And,
put some more music, some more Bush Doctor on. And,
Okay.
And we'll be back.
Beautiful. That was
All right.
awesome, guys.
This
See you in a bit.
420radio.ca. We're live at Canna Crawl in Hamilton. Come on out. We're here till 1 a.m. at 1051 Upper James in Hamilton, Ontario. I don't know Hamilton that well yet. And we'll be back.
And there'll be no more need to smoke and hide. When you know you're taking a legal ride, so legalize marijuana. Down here in Jamaica, it's the only cure for glaucoma. Live clean, let your works be seen. Stand firm or you gonna feed worms. Live clean, let your works be seen, my brothers. Stand firm or you gonna feed worms. One ballad till me see. This your ballad or till me see. Put on my clothes and come with him. And make we go to church Sunday. Soul seekers, I say. Jacket and tie, come tell me say. Clean clothes, come tell me say. Me faith come with him and go to church this Sunday. Soul seekers, I say. All you got to do, live clean and let your works be seen. My brothers, stand firm or you gonna feed worm. Live clean, let your works be seen, my sisters. Stand firm or you gonna feed worm. This your one come till I see. Another one come till I see. If you want to be saved, son, you got to go in your grave, son. Yeah. Back up bullshit, yeah. That is bullshit, I say. The other one come till I say. The other one come until I say. If you want to be the light, son, you got to love Jesus Christ, son. That is fantasy. Hold back of ignorance, I say. All you got to do, live clean, let your works be seen. Stand firm or go feed worm. Live clean, let your works be seen. Stand firm or go feed worm. pass till I see. In the pass till I see. If I want to be pure within, I got to come confess my sin. Another pirate I see. All you got to do, live clean, let your works be seen. My brother, stand firm or go feed worms. My sister, live clean, let your works be seen. My brother, stand firm or you gonna feed worms. This your one come till I see. This your one come till I see. He think it is wise that I should get baptized, yes. But when I realize it was the devil in disguise. This your one come till I see. Another one come till I see. To be in the light, got to take Jesus Christ. You talk it like gladness, but that is madness, I say. And all you got to do, live clean, let your works be seen. Stand firm or you gonna feed worms. Live clean, let your works be seen. Stand firm or you gonna feed worms. Live clean, let your works be seen. My brother, stand firm or you gonna feed some. Due to unfavorable financial condition, I am unable to cope with this financial situation. It's causing an inflation upon creation. I can't stand this no longer. The wicked get stronger. I can't stand this no longer, 'cause the battle is getting hotter. But them have to get a big, the wicked have to get a big, yeah. They must get a big, yeah. The wicked have to get a big, yeah. Now that you waited till your back is against the wall, one step to progress, my brother, and I know Jah will help you all. And them have to get a big, Lord. They must get a big, yeah. Them have to get a big, I see. And them can't get away. I can't stand this no longer. The wicked get stronger. I can't stand this no longer, 'cause even cockroach get no far. Me say them have to get a big, yeah. They must get a big, Lord. They have to get a big, yeah. They must get a big, oh yeah. Tell me, how long must the good suffer for the bad? And every time the good open his mouth, the bad say, you must have mad. Them have to get a big, Lord. Them must get a big, yeah. Them have to get a big, Lord. And them can't get away, yeah. I can't stand this no longer. must get a beating, Lord. Them have to get a beating, brother. Them can't get away. I can't stand this no longer. The wicked get so strong. I can't stand this no longer. Everything seems to be wrong. Them have to get a beating, Lord. Them must get a beating, yeah. Them have to get a beating, Lord. Them can't get away, yeah. Must get a beating. They've been reigning too long. It has been 400 long years, and I just can't get along. I say, them have to get a beating. I have to flash some lightning, yeah. I have to roll some thunder.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Jah, and the Word was Jah. In the beginning Jah created the heaven and the earth. Then created man of his own likeness and image. Gave unto man wisdom, knowledge, and understanding.
Jah is my help and my strength, so whom shall I fear? He's a shield upon my right and my left hand, so whom shall I be afraid? Jah is my king. Jah is my light and my salvation, so whom shall I fear? He's my guide throughout this creation, so whom shall I be afraid? Jah is my king. Jah is my guide in my resting and my rising, so whom shall I fear? He's my guide when I step out in the forwarding, so whom shall I be afraid? Jah is my king. Jah is my guide when Philistines come down upon, so whom shall I fear? He's my guide when my enemies come to devour, so whom shall I be afraid? Jah is my king. Jah is my guide from the pestilence of darkness, so whom shall I fear? He's my guide from the vampire of hell, so whom shall I afraid. Jah is my keeper. Jah is my health and my strength, so whom shall I fear? He's a shield upon my right and my left hand, so whom shall I be afraid? Jah is my I've learned a lesson in my life, a lesson in my life. Always be careful of mankind, be careful of mankind. They'll make promises today, but tomorrow change their minds. They'll make promises today, but tomorrow change their minds. I'm an upful man and I love upful people. I'm a progressive man and I love progressive people.
All right, we are back. This is 420radio.ca, and we are live with Dr. Ira Price at Canna in Hamilton. And he's got somebody that he wanted to have a conversation with. We're going to mute our mics up here so that you can do that. Go ahead, Ira.
Thanks, Al. Honestly, like, this place is unbelievable. Everywhere I walk, I'm just bumping into new people that I know, and we're just, the community is just building and building. I'm standing here, though, with a good friend of mine who just came on, actually, the Higher Estate podcast, I guess it was about a week ago now, and we decided while we were doing that we were going to start a challenge, and it's called the Keto Challenge, like the ketogenic diet challenge. His name is Brian Hardy, and he's standing here, and I wanted to get him on here because I want him to tell us what that's all about, and in like brief kind of terms, because I don't think our heads can spin around all of that right now. And honestly, I'm just so glad I got to bump into you here. And so, yeah, tell us who you are, what's going on, and what brought you even out to Hamilton. This guy lives in Toronto.
Yeah, so my name is Brian Hardy. I'm a holistic nutritionist and lifestyle coach and lover of all things natural wellness and vitality. And
by the way, he microdoses psilocybin. We can get into that a little bit if they want to talk about it, but we're mostly about the cannabis.
Yes. Microdose cannabis, microdose psilocybin, CBD, THC, all the good things.
Ketogenic diet.
Yeah, so ketogenic diet, to break it down real easy and fast, it's a fat burning state. When you're in ketosis, your body is burning fat for its primary fuel source, which is a metabolic function that all of our bodies are equipped with. Most of us just don't exercise that function because we eat too many carbohydrates, and when our body has sugar, it prefers sugar. So we need to lower carbohydrates either through fasting or through dieting of different means in order to amp up our body's fat-burning capacity, which is exactly what this 5-day fasting mimicking diet cleanse, I know that's a lot of words, does.
Hold on a second. We're fasting for 5 days. I'm not fasting for. What am I doing? What is this thing you're trying to get me to do? Hold on. I thought this was like, we're going to go on a little saunter diet, keto thing. What is 5 days of fasting?
That's exactly what it is. See, fasting mimicking.
Okay, I can fast overnight.
Fasting mimicking.
While I'm sleeping.
You will definitely be fasting overnight. 12 hours is the minimum to shoot for each night. So if you finish at 8 p.m., your last little meal, then you just wait till 8 a.m. It's quite simple and quite easy for most people.
Can we define little meal?
Yeah, so we're going to be having on the cleanse, and you can do as strict or as loose as you see fit. Overall, always listen to your body. I've done this for years, so my metabolism is quite good at burning fat and going without food, and it's not that big of a deal.
He's really skinny.
And
tall.
And so it's a capacity you want to develop. And this is one of the ways I've found for relatively easily developing it, because you hear a lot of people when they do ketogenic diets, they get keto flu for weeks at a time, and they feel awful. And there's a lot of reasons for that. And there's things you can do to prevent that. Drinking bone broth regularly is a big thing you can do to prevent that.
That's a Tyler thing. Tyler's into the bone broth thing now. But
Tyler's already healed his gut with a 3-day bone broth reset. So, yeah.
Tyler, is that true? Are you there? Tyler Bueller. Tyler, answer me. Would you? Tyler?
He is here. He was just talking with somebody at the table here, but he's here.
Okay.
Now.
Sorry, I was talking to Tesla.
You were talking to who?
Tesla. She was actually looking for you.
Oh, yeah? That's a good person to talk to.
Yeah, she's
can't hear. I can't hear him either. That's why I'm just making things up.
Okay. Yeah. So bone broth will fix your gut. Bone broth has a lot of minerals.
Oh, you're back. Welcome back, Tyler.
Yes.
Is this true? Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to Tesla. Yeah, I was just talking to Tesla.
Tesla's here?
Yeah, she's looking for you.
Hey, Tesla. What's going on? Yeah. You know her. Look at that. We all know these people. Okay, but hold on a second. Brian is telling me in 3 days your gut was healed or is healing or something of that sort.
No joke. I did the bone broth and celery juice, and it helped tremendously. And now I'm actually drinking bone broth at least twice a week.
Are you really? So it's helped. It has helped you.
Yeah,
let me
100%.
So let me ask you this question then, Brian. We go upstairs and you got a lot of cannabis stuff, and they're stuck in carbohydrates because it's like in
fats. I saw some coconut oil up there.
Okay, but listen. What I'll tell you about coconut oil and cannabis is people coming to coconut oil is still a fully saturated fat, so you have to have it in moderation. You don't want to have too much of it, right? Even you go with olive oil, and it's a polyunsaturated fat, so you're doing a little bit better. But yet at the same time, if you heat it up, well, you're going to damage it, and you release free radicals and makes it no good. So there's give and take. If you're going to heat up oil, you're best heating up a fully saturated, and if you're going to just ingest it, you're better off just ingesting a non-fully saturated thing like a polyunsaturated fat, like olive oil. Okay, but let me talk about this thing a second. So I'm upstairs. I'm seeing stuff that are full of carbs, and we have cookies, and we have jujubes, and we have gummy bears, and I got pretzels in my pocket, and I got jam in my pocket. I got jam, not jelly.
In my pocket, and I don't know what to do with it.
It's true. It's sitting here in my pocket.
I'm gonna dip my pretzels in it.
Yeah, so
that's what you do at the gym.
But here's Michael. So then, what do we do? How do we get healthy using cannabis?
So stay away from refined sugars and gluten and processed dairy and all that garbage.
So don't enjoy food.
Steer clear of that inflammatory stuff. You can enjoy it every now and then. Take enzymes to ease the burden. Take nutritional supplements to ease the burden. But for a lot of people who have digestive issues, which is a massive percentage of the population, you're better off avoiding that stuff because it's not giving you any benefit really.
So adding cannabis to your food, you can do it in a healthy way. Yes?
Totally. And you're
100%.
probably better off. You're probably better off if you're going to have a piece of toast to put some, cannabis infused olive oil and butter onto there because it's going to have anti-inflammatory properties. That said, getting back to
yeah, fire away.
Okay, can you use cannabis in some form or another to control? I know you can't get rid of it with cannabis, but can you control diabetes functionally with cannabis?
So, there is some preliminary and anecdotal evidence discussing how the islet cells of the pancreas that are responsible for releasing insulin are regulated by cannabis, by cannabinoids. So you have the ability to, there are those who, and this is one of the cautions, whenever somebody starts using cannabis and has diabetes, for example, I tell them to watch their blood sugar because their blood sugar can decrease and their insulin levels that they require may be lower. Do we have it in large randomized controlled trials? Is it generalizable to the population around us? No, not yet. We're getting there, but it's not there now. So for an individual, it could work. For a general population, maybe not.
Okay.
And then you'd also have to be aware that if you have the munchies and you're munching out on a bunch of sugar, then it might throw another wrench in the plan. So you got to have healthy munchies. You got to have healthy munchies pre-prepared. I call it premeditated munchage. That's when you have healthy, good stuff. As long as you're not coating it with like sugar and stuff. If you're just a little bit of popcorn with some salt and some ghee or butter or coconut oil, whatever that is.
Coconut oil.
Yeah, that's definitely a better option than candies and.
So what is a good option? So that's a good question, Al. I like that. So what is an option? You get the munchies. You're eating all this cannabis. So what are some options for people? If you're saying you didn't give me a good answer around popcorn. I actually think popcorn is okay. It's is it nutritious? Certainly not. But is it? Is it worse than? Is it better? Let's say.
Isn't it a zero food? If you watch what you put on it, it's really a zero food. It's just a fill.
Yeah, it's just fiber, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's pretty much just fiber. If you have, diverticulitis or something like that, then you're going to want to stay away because the particles.
Yep.
But it's pretty much no. Tyler had a good idea actually after we made the infused olive oil at the cooking class about putting that into guacamole. Right? So put that into guacamole.
I spray my popcorn with my vegetable glycerin tincture.
Say that again.
I spray my popcorn when I'll take a couple of drops of my vegetable glycerin and tincture and coat it and then put some Canna butter on it and wow.
Yeah, I could see that being a good thing. And again, you don't want to be eating, bucketfuls of this stuff.
Oh,
why not?
You're going to hate me as a patient, Ira.
Thanks.
Well,
I mean,
one thing that I should mention, I'm on my way down from 500 pounds, Ira.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah, I got carried away. I have a food addiction. It's called McDonald's, literally. And I ballooned up over when my doctor said, I said, what was the top weight that I got to? And he said, well, you were tipping the scale over at 500. And I was way over that. I couldn't breathe. I had to retrain my body. I tried a fat blocker for a little while, not Lipitor. I can't remember what it was called, but it was a fat blocker. And he put me back on Ritalin for a year so that I could retrain my brain to say no. But then I started taking the Ritalin, and I started playing with different strains of cannabis because I don't know if I told you this story. At 16, I was given a choice to stay on Ritalin or start using cannabis. My doctor said, are you smoking pot? And I was like, no. He says, well, if you do, quit taking the pills because it's going to do the same thing. And that's the story I was telling Tyler there while you were talking, actually. And I didn't start smoking pot until I was 19. I should say cannabis. But I'm a victim of the 60s in Toronto, man. I am a hippie
That's fine.
child.
That's fine.
And
Listen,
and
I'm not judging you.
pot and weed and, But my point is...
I put things in pots and weeds grow in my backyard, but that's cool. That's cool. I don't judge you.
That's okay. You can judge me if you want.
I'm not judging you. Are you kidding me? Me judging you? Come on.
Now I hear kids are talking about cannabis, like 16, 17 years old. They're talking about cannabis because they've got ADHD, and I'm like, yeah, buddy. I think it's great.
Yeah, I mean, if it was my kid, I'd definitely want him, vaping a little bit of high-quality herb instead of taking pills. That's just me.
By the way, this is Brian talking.
Hi, Brian.
Yeah. I'm not a doctor. Don't construe this as medical advice. But getting back to it, and I mean, the other thing, and congratulations on that journey and moving in the right direction. That's fantastic. And I'm always curious.
It's been a long journey.
Yeah, no, and I'm always curious, and in cases and with so many of these things, there's, and not to go super deep, but I tend to go just super deep, and there's usually some sort of emotional need, that's not being met, and so we find unhealthy ways to meet that, and we cope and we do our best, and so I always advise people to look deeper, because when you can dissolve the emotional blocks or traumas or memories around certain things and rewrite the stories that we've told ourselves around certain belief structures, that's when real changes become more effortless, and long-term sustainability just happens.
If you want to, Brian is an amazing human, actually, awesome guy, talks a lot about this kind of stuff and the connection to, you can actually listen, or he has a podcast as well, actually. What's your podcast, by the way?
It's called Redefining Reality.
And you have an email or a website or something people can contact?
Yep. Website is brianhardy.ca. That's BRYAN Hardy.ca. And happy to chat about these things. But getting back to our original thing.
Okay, keto. We got to finish with keto. Can you tell me what we've got to do here for we're gonna kick-starting? I'm a little afraid right now.
So
when you're talking keto, you're talking about the ketosis diet?
The ketogenic diet.
Yeah, okay. So limiting carbohydrates so that our body taps into stored body fat and burns that primarily, which is great. It's great
the crap.
Instead of carbohydrates that we are eating or ingesting, right? Because all excess weight is stored energy, right? That's all it is. It's stored energy, and we can burn it if we give our body and our internal environment the right conditions to preferentially burn it. And so the way this 5 days looks is that day one is a bit of an intro day. So you're doing about 1,000 calories throughout the day. So not a ton, a little bit less than half of the average daily intake. And we're also limiting protein. We want to limit protein so that our body goes through and breaks up and eats up old misfolded proteins and increases what's called autophagy, right? This is a great cellular cleansing process. And so we limit protein, we limit carbohydrates, we eat lots of good, healthy fats and little snacks like olives or almonds, bone broth every day would be amazing throughout this cleanse.
Does cannabis fit into this?
It could, but for me personally, it would make it very hard for me to not want to eat more. So I'm not going to be partaking pretty much at all throughout the process.
Unless you can get THCV. I always which is want to good eat more and more and yeah, more and more. it's hard to get THCV though, and but it's a good appetite suppressant. It's just hard to burns off. But if you have good THCV, it might be worthwhile checking that out during this.
Yeah, and or if you have willpower to
don't have any willpower,
not have the stuff. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to not munch.
We
during
need
this
to
type of
find
thing,
a
'cause
strain that gives you willpower. What happens on day 2?
Day 2, we drop it down a bit more to about 700 calories, and that's where we stay.
Is this the starvation diet?
That's where we stay for the next 4 days. And this type of protocol is called the fasting mimicking diet, and it's been well studied to improve longevity in rodents and to increase autophagy, similar to water fasting.
We are close to rodents.
So I say water fasting for 3 to 5 days for the average person in our city.
When you say water fasting, what do you mean? Don't
just water.
Said no one ever.
That would be the more pure version of like a fasting, but I would never recommend that in a busy city lifestyle. You want medical supervision, and you want to be ideally at a beautiful retreat in nature someplace to do that kind of work. For the modern life, though, you can do these high-fat fasting mimicking diets, which aren't that tricky to actually do. And when you take the right supplements, which I recommend in the program, you can really suppress the appetite and increase energy and help your body to, as quickly as possible, shift into fat-burning mode, which then makes it a lot less of a struggle. And most people feel like as they go throughout the process, they feel freedom because they're not having to worry about what they're eating all the time, right?
So what do we eat?
Well, like I said, it's all laid out. The sample.
Oh, it is laid out.
It's all laid out in the PDF, which you just got to go through and read.
No.
Just read that PDF. It's like 7 pages.
Oh, it's a lot of reading. Is
Not
there
much.
Cole's notes?
Not much. Maybe I'll record myself reading it. Yeah, but
You're gonna have to read it to me then, maybe.
But so, like, day 1, I start each day with a bulletproof elixir. So if you do coffee, you can do bulletproof coffee. You can do bulletproof matcha, or you can just do any sort of herbal tea that you like. But that's going to give you a good fat bomb in the morning to get your, appetite suppressed and get you feeling good. And then you can have snacks of a half an avocado or 1 whole avocado per day. Olives. Right, so like 20 olives or 20 almonds are also...
Is that your whole day's food?
No, so that plus...
That's like 700 calories. Hold on.
That plus a cup of bone broth and about a half a can of full-fat coconut milk makes up pretty much the bulk of the day. And like I said, it doesn't sound like a lot, and it's not a lot, but it's enough. It's enough to keep you going. 1 cup.
1 cup of bone broth and 20 almonds and 1 tea for the day. This sucks.
Coffee that has lots of
This
fat
sucks.
in it.
This is not. This doesn't sound even remotely like what I thought this was about. No. Hold on a second. I thought I was gonna get to eat steak. No. I thought I was gonna get to eat meat all day. No. I don't like this whole plan, guys.
You can transition to a more traditional keto diet after the 5
Who lives like that? No one can live like that. That is unlivable.
Like this. I've done it twice. It's not that big of a deal.
We started after the 4th then because we have that Synergy Wellness Day, but we promoted the 1st.
But you're gonna have a bulletproof elixir in your system to take you right through until...
You think?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Well, you heard it here, guys. I'm gonna try this 5-day. Sounds to me like a starvation diet. I know this fast mimicking business, but to me, guys, this sounds like a fast, like impossible diet. But hey, after the 5 days, it all ends, and then we go back to normal reality, or what do we do in 5 days?
Then you can transition, if you'd like, to just a more standard keto diet, which would not be meat heavy, because that's a recipe for inflammation for most people.
That's true.
Lots of plants, lots of good fat, but you can eat until you're satiated. Most people can eat on keto until they're satiated, and they'll actually effortlessly hit a calorie deficit because fat is so satiating, right? It's why if you're someone like myself, you kind of have to force feed yourself. Like if you're a skinny guy trying to gain muscle and you're doing low carb, it's going to be really hard. But it makes life amazing because you can eat delicious, fatty, rich things as much as you like, feel no restriction, and your energy's good, your weight's going to be fine, your hormones will be good.
What kind of fats are we talking about here? Can fried French fries without the French, or without the fry, but the French part?
I mean, that'd just be potatoes.
Right. No, without the potato, and just eat the fried part.
Oil? No vegetable oil.
Oh, no, not well. We'll put it in.
You can use like refined avocado oil or coconut oil if you need to fry something.
Avocados. Okay, I guess it's a fat. That's like a. That sounds so exciting for fat. Like who thinks like that? I think of burgers.
Chocolate.
Right. Steak.
You can do burgers, full fat burgers. Yeah. You can do fatty cuts of meat. Totally. Fish, salmon, sardines, all those things.
That sounds so amazing.
So good. Eggs, whole eggs.
Okay, you heard it here. Okay, guys. That I think we
and the benefits, right? The benefits are that you will burn fat throughout these 5 days. You will burn fat. You should prevent muscle loss because ketones are muscle sparing. And in the rebound period, so on day 5, before you, or at the end of it, or before you break out of the fast.
Can I go to the Mandarin?
I wouldn't recommend it. Okay. Wouldn't recommend it. But if you do this 5 days and then work out really hard, like go for a run, hit some deadlifts, hit some squats, and then go have a really big meal, you're going to more easily put on muscle because your growth hormone is peaking because of the fat that are to be had.
Sorry, guys. Okay, I'm just getting a call in here, but I think we hit it. I think we get the point. Al, you there?
Yeah, I'm here, buddy.
All right. So,
for anybody interested, find us on the socials.
You're fading in and out a bit here.
Oh. Okay, go for it.
Crackly and stuff.
Oh. All right. I'm go.
You want to
Can you hear me now?
Break? You want to take another break, or you want to keep going?
Yeah, let's take a break for a little bit.
Okay. Are you coming back up?
Yeah, I'm going to come back up.
All right.
People are interested, reach out on social.
Yeah, no problem. We're just going to reset everything. I'm actually going to shut the stream off this time. We'll do a part 2.
Sounds good.
So I'll go out for some air for a little bit. We are broadcasting live from the Canna Crawl Harvest Edition at 1051 Upper James in Hamilton, Ontario. I'm not from Hamilton. Don't laugh at me. And we'll be back after a little bit more Peter Tosh.
All right, beauty.
420 Radio.
I'm a truthful man and I love truthful people. I'm an honest man and I love honest people. I've learned a lesson in my